So I'm trying to give a backdrop to the work area so that my shavings don't go all over the mountain. And hopefully everything will just hit there, kind of drop to the ground, sort of, and it'll be easier to pick them up. I'm making a ton of shavings. Hi everybody, Bee's with me today. We're making progress with the sills. I've got a new tool, a new planer, and it's a 6-inch wide, so it's just wide enough to get the boards to the dimension that I need. Okay, I've cut the sills for both ends, both sides, and now I'm doing the front. This is of the second floor. When I laid out the anchor bolts initially, I laid them out to a 4 meter, just under 4 meters, so that I could have a 4-meter board here coming in from both sides with the lap joint itself right here, so I can have the anchor bolt go through the lap joint. So that's the plan. These two, the next two boards I make, will be exactly 4 meters, and then the middle one, it looks like it's going to be about closer to three and a bit. Well, my backdrop is working perfectly. It's stopping most of the sawdust shavings from going down the mountain. But I am creating bales of stuff. I'm surprised how much shavings I'm making. I wish I knew somebody who was raising chinchillas or gerbils or something. They would kill for this. So this next board has a definite crown to it, and I want to make sure that crown is facing up. So I've got to make sure that my half lap is correctly oriented. So I did the last lap joint again with the router and the jig, and it just took a long time. It's obviously operator, not error, but unfamiliarity with how to do it. So I'm going to do this one with the radial saw and my chisels, and I think I'll be done in a quarter of the time. So Honestly, that took a fraction of the time. I didn't time myself, but when I did it with the router, it took at least 15 minutes. This took about 3. So sorry, router guys. And I know it's on me. You know, I got to learn how to use that router much better, and jigs. But for now, this is the way to do it. I know several people are interested in the new planer. You saw the trials and tribulations I had with the old one, the previous one. So very quickly I was able to buy a new one, and surprisingly cheap, only about $60 more than the old one. So let's just do a quick unboxing and share some of the details with you. First of all, when I first received it, I saw all the nails here, and I got out the crowbar, and I thought I would have to pry open the lid, only to discover that this is a himitsu bako, which in Japanese means the secret box. So you slide it, see it slides, right? When it's over there, it's completely locked shut. When you slide it over this way, boom, lift it up, this side opens up, and there it is. So this is a Makita 1805N 155mm model. That's a 6-inch planer. Comes with a couple of blades. I bought an extra couple just in case. It's got a 20-foot cord, which is fantastic. I need that. And it sits in this little box. It is not light. So I've already used it, and it is very functional. As I said, it's got a 6-inch blade, and it's got an exhaust port right here. It has a vacuum attachment, but I haven't bought it. A nozzle that fits in there. It's about $50, so I'll buy that. And I have a shop vac at home. My work environment here is not an efficient, effective workshop. It's an ad hoc, throw together, get some work done, covered space. So I don't know how effectively I can hook up a vacuum and a hose and something that I have to travel, you know, 4 to 6 meters every time I plane something. So the hose has to be traveling with me. I don't know if it will be efficient or effective. So we'll see about the hose. I mean, I need the vacuum and I need the dust collection system, because I've got a ton of shavings. It's got a adjustable knob at the top, and to go from 0 millimeters to 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter, all the way up to 2.5 millimeters, or all the way up to 3 millimeters. I can't imagine digging into something that deep, but who knows. And it, yeah, as I said, it's heavy. It's 7.9 kilograms, and yesterday I was really feeling the burn in my wrist from carting it around, lifting it up. So as I said in the last video, all of my lumber is oversized and needs to be shaved down to size. You know, I shouldn't have had to do it with the sills. They don't need to be pretty. They're gonna be a fundamental part of the support of the house, but they don't need to be pretty. I do need it on several of the posts and beams that will be facing inside the house. And so this is having fine shaved, clean faces on some of the lumber is pretty important. But I certainly don't need it on all of it. And maybe I oversized the lumber just a bit too much, because I'm having to shave off a lot, particularly on these sills. So we'll see how it goes when we get to the posts and beams. I'm certainly enthusiastic about moving forward. This is going to be fun, and we're getting beautiful, clean boards out of using this new tool. So anyway, that's my introduction to the Makita 1805 hand planer. So yesterday I was getting used to the planer and also worrying about the oversized nature of all of these boards. And I was making 2 passes per side to try and, because it just seemed like I always had a little bit of a shoulder left on the cut. You can see right here, I traveled a little bit to the left and I left this little sliver of a ledge on this face. There's another little ridge. The key on the planer is this edge right here. The blade comes out past this ledge just the slightest little bit, maybe 1 mil or half a mil. So if I keep this exactly there, lined up to the edge of the wood, I'm good. I'm not using a fence, and there's very little forgiveness in the width, so I have to be very precise. And I thought about just running the planer over for another pass, but then on that little ridge, the planer will jump up just the slightest little bit and set everything off. So I got to get rid of that ridge first. That did it. A couple more. There we go. All right. That's 1 plank. That's just 1 plank. Okay, I've finished with the 2nd floor prep for packing and sills. So now I'm going to go up on top, and on the top of the 2-meter wall, and do that run of packing. I've got to drill holes in the concrete and then screw down the packing. These screws though, I'm just having trouble with them. They're dedicated concrete screws and they're really bloody expensive. But no matter how deep the hole is, and I've used two slightly different sized bits too, and both of them give the same result. I screw the screw in and it just locks up and the screw head, twists off. So it's probably user error, but I'm just not having a lot of luck with concrete screws. I've never had a lot of luck with concrete screws. But the end result though is, even though the screw head spins off, twists off, the screw itself is locked into the concrete and holding down the packing. And once I get the sill on top and use the anchor bolts to hold down the sill, nothing's moving. One more small wrinkle is I am running out of screws. I don't think I have enough to finish the upper wall. I need 3 per packing plate, and I think I have 13 packing plates. I need 40 screws. And yeah, definitely not enough. I had to account for a little bit of variation in the wall, but there I've got my string running all the way down and hitting the wall most of the way. So now I'll just go down and screw down these plates and give them 1 screw at a time and drill an extra hole for another screw when I come back tomorrow. Okay, perfect timing to get the top finished for the packing part. It's starting to rain, so I gotta get out of here and get down below or call it a day. I don't really know what time it is yet. So it's not even 3 yet. I got a little bit more time. As we can see in the drawing, the length of the top 2-meter wall, the back wall of the house, is 11.330 meters. So that means I have time to cut 3 more 2x6s. Well, another little logistical challenge we have here is my storing and stacking of the cut pieces. Now all of these are marked for where they go on the foundation, except as I've stacked them here, I've lost the marks. They're somewhere hidden or buried, and they're not stacked very prettily. I'm not going to use these until I get them all cut. Then we're going to get them outside somewhere, spray them with the anti-insecticide, anti-rot, and then probably put them down with the anchor bolts. I'm debating whether we put them down now and then let them sit for 2 months probably until the vents are ready to be installed, or whether we hold off and keep them out of the weather until we're ready to install. Then like the day before we put the vents up, we put all the sills in place, just spend a day putting the sills in, fitting them, making them good, and then the next day we put the vents together, put the vents down, etc. So So I'm trying to adapt to the workspace, and I found yesterday having the cords underfoot, always I'm stepping on them and losing my balance slightly as I'm planing the plank. So we'll try something overhead, see if it works. Seems to be working for now, but we'll see. Okay, precisely 50. Good. I think that was 7 passes. I'll have to review the tape to be 100% certain. Okay, I've finished both the second floor and the 2-meter wall. Now we get started on the first floor. So, we've got the packing done on the second floor. We've got the packing done on the 2-meter wall. We got the sills done for both of those. We only have the first floor left. This is going to be great in the winter time, having this going all the time. You know what they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Okay, let's just review the measurements for the first floor. Okay, here we are. We've got our 2-meter wall sills, and in the middle here we've got our second floor sills, and down at the bottom we have our first floor sills. And the key measurement we want here is 3.475. 3.475 meters, or 3,475 millimeters. And we're having the same 150 mil overlap here. You can see that. The same 150 mil overlap, 25 mil deep half lap. That's not going to change. And I'm going to wait to measure the 3 front boards. I'm going to do the 2 sides first. So 34.75 is the is the one we want. There's only one half lap on one end, the other end's a butt joint. Sounds like we've got some military helicopters coming over. Usually they're American military. We don't have any bases close to here, but we seem to be on a flight path. Maybe to Guam, I don't know. Or Okinawa, I don't know. And they usually travel in threes. Okay, so before I start to cutting the wood, I'm going to get the sills down. Now, if you'll recall, our second floor sills jut out 1 inch on both sides, and that is at this point in this plane, this wall that will eventually be here. So in order to make that point, this point, and that point all in the same plane, this has to come out 1 inch. So down here, I'm going to put the sill out 1 inch as well, and then a half an inch right there, and then 0 jutting right there. We came in 6 inches shy on the packing. I thought we had at least 1 or perhaps 2 lengths. Each one of them is almost a yard. I thought we had 2 extra, but we didn't. Anyway, all good. Gonna get this screwed down right now, and we're done with the packing. Okay, with a little judicious spacing throughout the last, I don't know, 4 meters, 5 meters. I don't have a big gap anymore, and I don't have to go buy 1 more packing. And we're done. It's all screwed down. I'm happy. And it's all lined up on the string, straight, ready for the sills. We started today with a little bit of road maintenance. I had the second to last lumber delivery happen this morning, and those guys are great. I love working with them, my Sawyer. But in order for me to operate the Yumbo, the excavator, effectively on that steep driveway, I had to clean up the road a little bit. Plus, I've got runoff gravel, runoff dirt from my property going out into the public road, and so every so often I get out there and clean it grade it with the blade on the excavator. Okay, so a good workout this morning to start the day. It's not yet 10 o'clock. I'm taking a little coffee break because I got out here about 8 o'clock this morning to do some preparation. But right away, we're going to jump into the sills for the first floor, the last bit of the sills. We have 2 end pieces that are identical, and then 3 front pieces. I think I'll be done today. So yesterday was a good day, I thought. I felt like I was really getting into a rhythm, getting used to my tools. Things were going much faster. You know, putting the packing in on the first floor went surprisingly fast. Took me, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to do the whole thing, whereas the second floor one took about 4 hours. So really, things are improving in the flow, which is great. I'm happy. Also yesterday, I got the burn barrel working, and suddenly the amount of shavings is much less of a concern. Not only did I get my invoice from the lumber guys, I got a bag of chestnuts. They always bring me little gifts, oranges or whatever's in season at the time. And this time it's chestnuts. Okay, making good progress, and I'm able to stack my cut lumber here for now. I won't have this luxury when I get to the bigger pieces. But so far I've got the 2-meter wall, 3 pieces, just behind my lunchbox there. I've got 5 pieces for the second floor. And here for the first floor, we've got the first 4 pieces. 1 more piece to do and I'm done with the sills. So let's get that done. I'm watching the clock as I do this, and each piece is taking me about 45 minutes. And these aren't really that complicated. So there's no mortises, for example, which generally take a long time. So that's my benchmark right now, 45 minutes per plank or pole or beam. The bigger beams are going to take longer, but anyway. With just 1 left, it's time for a little break and a recharge. A baby Snickers. Okay, there is our 5th piece for the second floor. We are done cutting the sills. Finally, after all the shaving and shaving and shaving and shaving, we're at the point where we can install the sills. I'm going to take the sills from this storage area now. They're all cut and grouped by location. And I'm going to put the 2-meter wall sills up on the 2-meter wall, the second floor sills on the second floor, and the first floor sills on the first floor. The task is to get the anchor bolt holes drilled, get an oversized hole also for the washers on top of that, and probably, maybe, seal the ends And maybe if we have enough time today, there's supposed to be rain starting at 4 o'clock. Maybe we mix up the insecticide, anti-rot sealant and spray them down too. Not sure we're going to get there, but we're definitely going to get the seals up here and in position. The second floor is done. I'm racing with the rain. I may have to stop here. Second floor is done. I really don't want to leave the wood out here. It'll get soaking wet and swell up. Then it'll get cooked in the sun and shrink in all the wrong places. I could cover it up with Tyvek, staple down some Tyvek over the whole thing, and that would protect it from the rain and give it a little bit of shade. I'm not sure what to do. Well, the rest of the day is called on account of rain. We're not going to get all of the sills up. But you've seen one floor worth of sills go up, and I think you can imagine the rest. So it's been a really productive week. I got to know my tools, just getting back into the woodworking groove and getting things done. So I feel pretty good about the week. I think now that we're finished the sills, we start on the posts. The posts are really intricate beasts, but it's really exciting. They're the biggest ones. They're the most involved. They're surely the most important in a house. And we're going to start that next week. Thanks everybody for hanging around.